Hello fellow foodies. Today I will be making chicken and cashew nut stir fry. So you will need one large chicken breast sliced up, one bell pepper, half a medium onion, half a can of baby corn, and half a cup of cashew nut. For the chicken marinade, you will need Chinese white pepper, sesame oil, soy sauce, and cooking oil. For the sauce, you will need 1 tablespoon soy sauce, 1 tablespoon oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon chicken powder, and 1 heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. Okay, we have the chicken breast there sliced up. We're going to marinate it. We're going to add a shake of Chinese white pepper, a splash of sesame oil, a splash of soy sauce, and some cooking oil. So we're going to mix it up with our fingers, get the sauce into the meat. So we have half an onion here, and we're going to cut it into chunks. This dish, most of the ingredients are kind of chunky. That's kind of the look of this stir fry. So you want to kind of keep that consistent with all the ingredients. Okay, once we cut into chunks, we're going to separate all the layers so that it's going to cook easier. Yeah, so you're gonna want the onions in kind of chunky pieces, the bell peppers in chunky pieces, the baby corn in chunky pieces. Okay, I have a green bell pepper here. So I'll usually cut it in half, and then I'll kind of rip all the guts out, the membranes and the seed and the stem. Then I'll cut it into thick slices. And then I'll cut those slices into chunks. Okay, so we have a can of baby corn. We're just going to use half of that. and we're going to cut it into 3 pieces each. Just so the shape's consistent with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, let's start cooking. Okay, so we have the wok on high heat. We're just waiting for that to warm up. And then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. So we're adding the chicken now. So we want to cook the chicken maybe 3/4 of the way through. We're going to finish cooking it off with the veggies. So this should take about 3-4 minutes. You want to give it an occasional stir, make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the wok. You want to make sure you turn it over so that both sides get cooked as well. Okay, so about 4 minutes have gone by, and you can see the chicken's changed color. It's about 3/4 of the way cooked. So we're going to take it out of the wok, set it aside, and we're going to wash the wok and get it ready for the veggies. Okay, wok's clean, it's heated up. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. Spin it around. Get the oil over the bottom of the wok, and then we're going to add the onions and the bell peppers. The baby corn, when they're canned, they're pretty much cooked already, so you could just add them at the very end. You don't really have to cook them at all, just warm them up. So give that a little stir, make sure that all the veggies are coated in oil. So you want the bell peppers and the onion to be maybe 60% cooked before you add the meat to finish it. But at the end, the veggies should be cooked, but they should still be crisp. So the bell peppers and onions should be maybe 80% cooked at the end. So every once in a while you give it a stir, make sure everything's cooking evenly. Have gone by. So we're going to add the water now. We're going to add a cup of cold water. Then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of chicken powder. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. One tablespoon of light soy sauce. Give it a stir, mix the sauces in with the water. Then we're going to add the chicken. Then we're going to add the baby corn. So we're going to cover the stir fry, so the steam's going to help cook the veggies faster. So in the meantime, we're going to get the cornstarch slurry ready. So we're going to add 1 heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. And we're going to add a quarter cup of water to that. And we're going to stir it, make sure the cornstarch is dissolved in the water. So with Chinese stir fries, there's usually different types of sauces. You can have light sauce, medium sauce, or a heavy sauce. And sometimes the sauce will be so thick, it'll be more like a glaze than a gravy. Okay, so the stir fry has been cooking with the lid covered for about 3-4 minutes now. As you can tell, it's kind of cooked all the way through. So we'll take the lid off. And we're going to add the cornstarch slurry to that. So with this type of stir fry, the chicken and cashew nut, it's not a very saucy type of dish. In fact, the gravy is kind of thick. So it's almost like a glaze that sticks onto the veggies and the meat. Okay, so you add the cornstarch, and as soon as you add the cornstarch slurry, you want to mix it as soon as you can so the cornstarch doesn't clump up. So give it a stir, make sure the cornstarch is mixed in with the sauce. Yeah, so when you serve this dish, you don't want to add so much cornstarch that it's very dry looking. It's still wet, but it's very thick. And there's not a lot of gravy. Okay, so we're going to add half a cup of cashew nut. So this is cooked cashew nut. It's roasted and salted. You shouldn't be using raw cashews in this dish. Okay, so it's done. We're going to turn the heat off, and then we're going to pull out a Pyrex glass pie plate and transfer the food over. So as you can see, there's not a lot of gravy. It's very thick sauce, and it's kind of like a glaze more than a sauce. Even though there isn't a lot of sauce, this is a really good dish to eat with rice. It really smells good right now. Okay, there you have it. Chinese chicken and cashew nut stir fry with baby corn, bell peppers, and onion. Okay, bon appetit.